everyone. So I just spent like 10 minutes getting properly positioned for this, and then my kids' school phoned me because they needed me to bring something. So I don't know if I'm in the right position now, but hopefully. I thought I would make a video about the little things in life that you can get excited about, because I don't think that they're necessarily always recognised as being important, but I just think that it's the little things that keep you going day to day. And I've had some really challenging circumstances in my life, and there's been a time whenever I basically lost everything that I cared about at once, but it's doing something small and nice for yourself every day, even though at the time it doesn't feel like it's making a massive difference. I think overall it really does, and it might not feel overly significant, but it's your life is made up of all of these days, and it's the little things day to day that get you through, and you can't really rely on anything big lasting forever, but you can rely on your ability to make yourself happy with little things that mean something to you. And I feel like it's silly, but coffee is such a big thing to me. I really look forward to my morning coffee every day, and it really kind of gives me the energy to get started, and just there's just something really comforting about it too. And getting a moment at the table to just sit with my thoughts once I've got the kids ready for school and they've run off to do something else, just having a moment, however short, to just sort of sit and reflect and have coffee. And this morning I went to Cafe Nero after the school run to get some writing done, and I hadn't really planned to get a specific word count done today because I didn't think I was in the right frame of mind for it. But once I sat down and got my coffee and started writing, it all just began to flow. And I realized if you're writing about something that you really love and that you're enjoying writing, it's eventually going to reach a reader that enjoys reading it just as much. I think it doesn't really matter what the theme of your book is, even if it's something that isn't really happy. If you're actually enjoying the process of making it, someone will be touched by it at a later point whenever you put it out. And after that, I went to a charity shop that is around the corner from my house, and I would go there quite often. And most of the time when I go, I'll just look around and then leave, even though I do have a weakness for charity shops. But today, it felt like everything was sitting waiting for me. When I walked in the door, there was a £1 reel with loads of clothes on it that I really liked, and it was just my style, and it was just really funny, the way you could spend hours kind of hooking through stuff in a shop and never find anything that you like, and then just finding it all kind of sitting waiting and it's all been reduced to £1. It just feels like a little tiny, it's like the days smiling at you. Whenever I went to the till, I had a moment where I would normally be kind of reactive, and I'm still guilty of that. I have moments probably every week where I react kind of dramatically to something, and then afterwards I reflect and think, okay, I could have handled that a lot better. But there was an older lady who was working at the till, and whenever I brought everything I was buying over, which were 5 items or something like that, she said to me, "Oh, you've got shopping for the whole week then?" And I just felt like it was kind of an unnecessary comment. I just really don't like when people make comments like that, even if it's about something silly that's not personal, because I just feel like it's not their business, and you don't know what's going on in someone's life, and maybe they're trying to cheer themselves up because something devastating has happened. Okay, today that wasn't the case for me, but it could be. You just don't know what someone's going through. Anyway, I normally would take that completely on board and immediately probably react to it, but I just tried to slow down and think to myself, she's just an elderly woman that probably sometimes speaks before she thinks, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of people like that in the world, and it's not personal, basically. She probably does it with every person she sees throughout the day, so why should I take it on board as a truth that then I carry with myself and I allow it to affect the rest of my day? And then it kind of got me thinking, like, just because somebody puts their foot in their mouth, it doesn't mean that it's up to you to help them remove it. Like, sometimes I'm guilty of taking responsibility for the awkwardness. And if someone makes a comment that makes you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to make it okay for them or like kind of diffuse any tension that comes from that. Like, so I just remained silent and didn't like do what I would usually do and laugh it off. I just kind of looked at her, and then she looked a little uncomfortable, but then I thought, like, maybe it'll make her think about not doing it again. And you don't have to be polite all the time when other people are being impolite to you, and make them feel at ease whenever they're making the conversation kind of uncomfortable for no reason. Yeah, so I'm going to try to be silent more when someone says something that on some level upsets me, even if it's something really silly like that, where it's just a flippant comment and no one else would probably even like take it under their notice. But I'm just going to try to not freak out basically as soon as somebody says anything like that to me. On a similar topic, but in a different way, I was thinking, like, conversations with strangers are one of those things that it's like a nice thing, that it's just a nice little surprise in your day. And I really value those exchanges with someone that you don't know, even if it's just like a momentary thing. Like, there was a lady in Cafe Nero, and she just like, she saw I was ordering like a mocha, and she stopped to ask me what it was like. And I just feel like I really like when people approach you and ask you random questions just to get chatting for a minute. And it doesn't have to lead to anything longer than that, but it just kind of brightens up your day. And I like whenever someone kind of comes to me wanting like just input on something or advice about something. And I don't know, I think like people should do that more often, just like ask strangers random questions. Yeah, so another thing, my kids were at Brownies last night, which is like a little club that they go to, and they made me little presents at it for Mother's Day, like little flower pots. They're so cute. And those are the kind of small things I think make a difference to your day. Like, it's just the fact that they have put the time into making it with their hands, and it's like personal, and both are different. And kids just get so excited about having a present to give to you. Like, I think it's because they don't really have access to their own money or the ability to go shopping and surprise you with something. But I think that it is important to them to feel like they're giving you something, like you do whenever it's their birthday or Christmas, or I don't know, I just find my kids really like to do that. And then I also was thinking when I got home that, like, finding their clutter around the house, even though sometimes it's annoying, it kind of cheers me up. Like, whenever I went to sit in this seat, there was a potty sitting on it with a baby doll on it. I had to move it first, and like sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's so annoying. But at the same time, like, I think it's important to like slow down and realize that that's only for a time, and it's cute to find their things just like spread around the house. So like, I'm sitting next to a high chair that belongs to my daughter, and she had her baby in it with, she said, her baby's baby and her baby's baby's teddy. And it's just like those funny things that kids like come up with that like you need to kind of break up the adult seriousness of your life. I think they just remind you to be silly and to not take yourself seriously, and just like, and just that making a mess isn't the end of the world. I've also really been loving Libby, the library app. If you're in the UK and you have a library card, you can like sign into it online, and you can get books and audiobooks through it. A friend recommended it to me, and I know my mum was using it, but I just hadn't really got round to getting it. I think partly because with my older phone it was always full, and I never had room for like any new apps. But I downloaded it the other day, and I've been loving using it when I'm doing like stuff that I don't really want to do, like housework basically. Like if you have to do something really boring like changing beds, it makes it so much more bearable because you're kind of engrossed in a story and you can listen to it. And I just like to put my headphones on and get all those kind of monotonous tasks out of the way, but I'm like entertained while I do them. And I just finished a book called Bibliomaniac, and it was really interesting. And yeah, it's just nice that you can find them online for free, because audiobooks can be so expensive, and they might not have like the full range of what you want to read, but it gives you an option whenever you're occupied with something else. And yeah, I think that part of it too is like I struggle to concentrate to read sometimes, and it's like there's so much else to do, you don't get a chance to sit down and focus and like get in the right mind frame to sit and read. So it's good to be able to do it while you're doing other things. And then finally, like I was just going to talk about cooking and baking and how I think they're really healing and just really good for your spirit. Like I go through phases where I want to cook and bake all the time, and then I get a bit tired of it and I just want to get takeaway all the time. I don't, but like sometimes it's tempting, especially when you get those emails from Just Eat that are like, it's Tuesday, 20% off Tuesday, go ahead and treat yourself. And it's like, don't tempt me. But yeah, like I need to actually, when I'm thinking about that, make something easy for later, because I'm taking the girls to the cinema after school and we're probably going to be home at dinner time. I've been loving The Year of Miracles, the library book that I showed in one of my previous videos by, I don't know how you say her name, I think it's Ella Reisberger, and she was dealing with grief because her partner had died, and she basically like came up with all of these recipes and used them to kind of feed her soul and like heal herself. And then I just find like it's a really warm read, like it's like a hug in a book. And like I decided to make one of the recipes for lunch the other day, and it was so nice. Like it's not something I ever would have thought to make myself. It was like a kind of lentil-y stew that was a bit spicy with like spinach and like eggs on it, and it just felt like so nourishing and healthy, but also like full of flavour. And I actually ordered a copy of her book because I don't want to give it back to the library. Like I just want to go and ask them if I can keep it, but I'm sure there's someone else waiting for it. So yeah, but yeah, I'll just show you some little clips of things that I've been doing. And like I have been doing a lot of baking and cooking. I made some cinnamon rolls, which the girls have already devoured. And I might do some baking today if I have time. I need to come up with a dinner idea now, and also just do like the breakfast dishes and stuff because I still haven't got around to that. I'm so bad with that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, thank you to any new subscribers for joining me, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.